The second last category of elementals is the category of accumulating elementals. Human beings by nature are entities that learn from experience. So we accumulate by experience. We accumulate both affect and we also accumulate knowledge. We accumulate entanglements and we also accumulate knowledge about how to break free from entanglements. So we are extremely learning creatures and we accumulate entities like affect, knowledge, insights, development of faculties, and so on. Let us look at some of the accumulating elementals. To take an overview of all elementals, we can divide all elementals in heat into three categories: structural elementals, functional elementals or process elementals, and freedom elementals. And the functional elementals or process elementals we can further subdivide into motivational, generic operational, faculty, characteristic, resultant, and accumulating. Accumulating elementals are those elementals which come into play after the resultant elementals have become active and have been experienced. If an experience has led to extreme pain, a template is created for future not to do it again, and that template becomes one of the accumulating elementals. So what are the different types of accumulating elementals? Schemas or templates, affective patterns, complexes, learning, habits, reflex actions, comfort zones, holding states, tragic holding states, attachment, revulsion to certain things, certain objects. All these are accumulating elementals, which this is something that builds up experience by experience. Every time a resultant elemental is active and we experience it in a particular way, the learning part of us that learns from experience of any psychological event uses these accumulating elementals to enhance our storage of learning. Schema we all know about, and this accumulation happens both consciously and unconsciously. Schema we all know. How schemas, how templates get created, how affective patterns get created in responding to particular events. And these affective patterns in a distorted way can be transferred onto something related to a traumatic element and create a problem. Complexes we realize, we accumulate the complexes grow into branches and the branches into further sub branches as the complex develops itself. Learning, both cognitive and affective, learning also in terms of enhancing our affect tolerance. Habits are very important accumulating elementals. Habits can be both good and not good. Reflexes, they also get practiced over a period of time. Comfort zones, which we seek out because we know they are safe and pleasant. Holding states, where we go when we are anxious, we are not well. And tragic holding states, this is very important. In most pathologies, we find this tragic holding state. These are states which are tragic because they have anxiety, anger, pain, some negative affect. So this is a state where a negative affect is active. The person is not feeling happy at all. However, in that state, the person has lived for so long that he knows at least in that state he will survive. And he has been able to do some work, which may be 25% of his potential, but still he is able to do something and survive. And he therefore feels that this is not only a tragic state, but also a holding state. At least he has survived and done minimum work. And therefore, he sort of normalizes this tragic state, and this leads to this state becoming a tragic holding state. A state which is tragic but at the same time provides holding, familiarity to the person, safety to the person at some level. And this is something the person finds it very difficult to let go of, as we ask him to move from a state of sickness to a state of health. The state of health is so unknown, this is so familiar, that there is a fear of letting go of the familiar and exploring the unknown. Attachment is accumulated over a period of time, no doubt about it, with respect to any person or object or situation. And revulsion also is accumulated. These are all accumulations which keep happening over a period of, or actually a lifetime. They keep accumulating over lifetime unless we work on them and remove them, or in some cases enhance them as the situation may be. So accumulating elementals can be both positive or not positive, and correspondingly they have to be managed. This is very important because in all pathology, there are two things which always come in the path of healing. There may be more, but at least these two. One, how to cathart out, release, how to release the pent-up emotions in a process of catharsis. And second, how to prevent buildup of the similar kind of emotions in future by fundamental restructuring of the psyche. The first part deals with the resultant elementals. That if resultant elementals have created too much of negative effect, the accumulation of the resultant elementals has to be removed. And second, restructuring has to happen so that new accumulation does not happen of negative effect. And therefore, resultant elementals and accumulating elementals are extremely important from clinical healing standpoint. Thank you.